Hi, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity for inviting our office to participate in this very meaningful workshop. I'm very happy to meet you all here and to learn from you all as well. So I've been working on HKU sustainability for the past 4 years, but I've really been at HKU for over 9 years, including my bachelor degree at HKU. So I hope today I can share with you my experience on community engagement, not only as a project manager in the Hong Kong Youth Sustainability Office, but also as part of the Hong Kong Youth community. So since our office was established in 2008, our work focused really primarily on environmental sustainability. But with the rising attention and awareness on the SDGs, we take on the challenge to switch our focus and our narrative on sustainability into a more holistic view of sustainability, which is aligned with the 17 SDGs. But by saying this, I do not mean that by saying this, I do not mean that we are taking over the jobs of our other colleagues, but through adapting the lens of the holistic, interconnected sustainability goals, the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, sustainability is no longer only for environmentalists, it's also relatable to people from all walks of life, from students from all backgrounds, and also faculty, professors from different background and different areas of focus. So I would like to share two of the initiatives that our office is working on, which is the Disposable Plastic Free Campus, which was originated from our Ditch Disposable Campaign, and the Edible Spaces initiative. And finally, I will tell you more about the online SDG exhibition that we are collaborating with the libraries. So, So the Ditch Disposable campaign was launched in 2017. It was an initiative to address the SDG 12, responsible consumption and production, and also SDG 14, life below water, obviously because of the detrimental effects of plastic causing to our marine life. We were very lucky to have the support of our students and colleagues at the early stages of this movement, but it was very interesting that before our campaign even launched, one colleague called us one day and she said, I'm going to buy 2,000 disposable plastic bottled water for our 3-day conference, and they're just gonna drink it and dispose of it immediately. This is the usual practice that we always do in the past many years, but I really don't want to do it. So this is we understand her story, and we were very happy that she decided to reach out to us and also a local NGO. And together we discussed and we come up with a solution which is extremely simple, but led to a very big impact to minimizing our impacts to the environment, which is simply to include a message in the reminder email telling their participants to bring their own reusable bottles, and also to attach a map of water dispensers around the conference hall. And there are also directional signages which help the participants to easily go to the water dispenser and get water themselves. It's such a simple solution, but it creates a great impact and a great incentive for change for our community. This simple story also led to the formation and implementation of our first policy on disposable water bottles on campus in 2017. Within our office, we call this lady the converted, but how do we engage the non-converted people who are not so interested in sustainability? So at very early stage of the campaign, we focus on raising awareness on the plastic problems and getting students to be involved in the process of, for example, waste audits on campus and also beach cleanups, to understand firsthand the impact of the waste we create every day on our environment. But while we expose our students to the ugly facts or the horrible nature of plastics, we also encourage them to, by organizing fun and engaging activities such as like free drinks, free lunch, BYO, and ditch disposable picnics and markets events, which helps our students to understand that ditching disposable is an rewarding experience. Same with our staff. So knowing the problem is not enough. What is more important is to help our community to do something to address the problem. And this is the how-to. So you can see on this slide that we have a lot of resources developed online. These are all actually developed together with our students who are the first-hand our community at HKU, and they understand best the challenges they face when they organize events. So our students help us to research, develop, and to design this whole toolkit online on how to make our events more sustainable and how to particularly ditch disposable in each of the aspects, for example, and how to promote your events, food and beverage, marketing, waste disposal, etc. So this is all designed by students, and this resource is available to all of HKU community and even to the public. And even more interesting is that our Ditch Disposable workshop for staff is also organized by our students. So we allow the students not only an opportunity to influence their peers, but also to influence the administration level too. I believe our community is learning together in the process. Switching from a focus mostly on environmental impact of plastics, we began to expand and broaden our understanding on the plastic issue. So as I just mentioned about this very, very interesting project that we collaborated with the Department of Sociology and also the libraries, is the Sustainable Sunday Couture. This particular dress you see here, which is exhibited in the library, is a dress that was designed by domestic worker LP, who is also a fashion designer in Hong Kong. So we collected these straws from Hong Kong U canteens, and she used these straws to knit together this amazing looking dress. So it is really a project that not only focuses on the plastic problem as an environmental issue, but we expand it with a social awareness, a social lens, and to understand how this project can also empower local migrant workers in Hong Kong. Luckily, although we are very happy to see this dress, which is made by the plastic straws, but we no longer will see plastic straws on campus now because we have officially banned them on 2018. And then through our screenings, events, and discussions, we also expanded our understanding on the plastic problem to environmental injustice, its link with fossil fuel industry, and also the implications with COVID-19, etc. So expanding our impact beyond the campus, we collaborated with the other 7 local universities through the Hong Kong Sustainable Campus Consortium to maximize our impact on reducing disposable waste generated on all campuses in Hong Kong. And we also collaborated with local NGOs, Greenpeace and Greenest Action. On this forum, we invited all the retailers in Hong Kong, the big supermarkets in Hong Kong, and we discussed about how plastic issue can be addressed by switching to more sustainable alternative and minimizing the plastic packaging of the products that are sold in the supermarkets. This is something that I don't really want to talk about because policies gives an impression that we're taking away people's freedom, which is true most of the time, but it also provided us with a really good structure and framework for us to make progress in this journey of eliminating disposable plastic on campus. And so as I briefly mentioned just now, we have a policy on disposable plastic bottled water of 1 liter or less in 2017. And then we have a policy on plastic straws in 2018. And finally leading to the disposable plastic-free campus in 2020, which we've banned a list of 10 disposable plastic items on campus. So in this process, we won't want to end this plastic reduction journey at this stage. We are still collecting feedbacks from our community, and we are happy to modify the policy or make changes or respond to the comments from our community. So this is the policy, but I don't want to talk too much about it today. Yeah, so as I mentioned just now, the students are key actors in the whole campaign throughout since 2017. And I can tell you stories of all these students whom I personally know them. And especially for the 2 students here who are working on CSIS sustainable leadership course as well. So they are very, very passionate sustainability advocates on campus. And some of them help develop all the Ditch Disposable toolkits, and some of them are involved in this edible space project. And even the Green Ambassador program was an idea that our interns made. Yeah. And I'm gonna skip the video because of time. The next project that I would want to share with you is the Edible Space project. We want to, through the Edible Spaces project, we are using idle spaces on campus, such as the rooftop, and also places which are originally growing ornamental plants, and switch them into productive gardens where the community can be engaged in organic farming activities, and the harvest can be shared among our community. At the beginning of this project, it is a collaboration with a landscape architecture professor, Mr. Matthew Pryor. He did a research in a holistic, in the whole of Hong Kong to understand how rooftops can be productive. So throughout the journey, we understand that the Edible Space project is not enough to solve the global food crisis, and definitely not enough to feed us all. But we learn from the experience that it is actually a very good setting, a very good space that helps us to promote a sustainable living, and all these ideas related to SDG 2, zero hunger, SDG 3, good health and well-being, as well as building sustainable cities and communities. So we have regular workshops, and we have regular volunteers of 30 to 40 people. Each semester we have 10 to 20 more new members, and we take the roster and water the farm together. And at the experience we have at the farm is very holistic, not only from growing plants, but we also interact with the soil, with the weather, with also the birds and the insects, which is also a part of our community. And we learn to maintain this harmonious balance between them. And our harvest will also be shared with our community, including the cleaning team. And they're very happy to receive some of the herbs, which are very expensive to buy in the market or in the supermarkets. So finally, because a lot of the projects we run are on pause because of the COVID situation, we have this challenge online, which we encourage people to grow food at home. It's been a quite encouraging process because growing food is such an empowering process, and it allows us to learn a lot during the process. So finally, I would like to speak about this SDG exhibition, which is supported by the working group of this event, and also in collaboration with the Women's Studies Research Center. In this SDG banners, you can find a lot of linkages and intersectional points in the banners presented. Not only did we reference on some points that from the SDG official website, but we also research on how research on the Hong Kong data which relates to each of the SDGs. And we also have actions at HKU to demonstrate how we can address these problems at our university. And also there is a what you can do section at the end. So we try to make this banner exhibition as relatable as possible. And I hope this is a process that will engage our community in the coming days as well, just as the starting point. To conclude, I think I have 3 points, and I hope I have enough time for that. I believe community engagement for sustainability is not always an easy task in the hectic world, but by finding intersections between different topics, such as the plastic crisis and the empowerment of migrant workers in Hong Kong, as also with sustainable food production and well-being, by finding the intersections between these issues, we can more effectively engage our community and engage a wider audience. And the second thing I want to raise is the importance of treasuring our students as our greatest assets. A lot of times when we engage students, sometimes we tend to think of them as helpers to help our events, to help organize our events, but it is very important to listen to them and to value their interest and to not have a predetermined goal to make them work for us, but to really understand what they think is better for the society and to empower them and equip them to be able to make this change in the society. And finally, I hope to see more community engagement embedded in all levels of work in the higher education and also around the society to foster this kind of collaborative and open-minded spirit for the betterment of the society. Thank you.